In this next video, we are going to cover the post type here for the staff members, the principal investigators, the board of directors. They're all contained within one handy dandy tool. So to work on that, we come right down here to staff, and when you do, a full list of the staff will show up here. If you add a new staff member, they're going to show up at the very top of the list is where they're going to get inserted. You can see that these are organized in alphabetical order by last name. So when you add somebody in here, if their name started with D, their last name started with D, you just obviously need to drag them down to the appropriate position in the list to alphabetize them. Now, I will say that up here under Screen Options is an area where you can designate the number of items that show per page. If, for instance, this were set at a lower number, and you added somebody in here and their last name started with a Z, and you went to drag them down to the bottom of the list, you can see you're only going to get to K here. And that's because we only have 40 items showing per page, and so there's 2 pages worth of staff members. So you wouldn't be able to drag them all the way down here. So if something like that happens, you just come up here and you just, under Screen Options, change this number of items per page to something bigger than the total number of people published. So we'll put this back at 80. We'll hit Apply. And now if you add Mr. Zebra here at the top, then you're now able to drag him down into the last position under Zaraga. In any case, we're going to go ahead and work on one that's already in here so that you can see the fields and how they correspond to what's on the front end. So as an example, we're going to use this Jeannie Marie, I'm not sure how you say her name. In any case, this first field right here, this name field, this doesn't do anything except for show up here in your list on the back end. This is just so you can identify whose post it is. It doesn't affect anything here on the front end of the website. So yeah, this field is only for identification in the list here on the back end. This next field is obviously their bio, so it controls most of what happens here on this page. So if we look at this, we can see it starts with is professor with tenure. Oh, we need to fix that, huh? Typo. In the departments of, and here is that text. So it's basically going to control most of this area right in here. The next thing is the picture over here on the right-hand side. So we can, if we needed to update it, let's say it's a couple years down the road and Jean Marie wants a different image, we can remove it here. And then we can set the featured image and either pull it from the library or we can come right here to upload files. Let's just go ahead and find her image again. We'll add that back in. The next thing to pay attention to over here is the role. And so the role is what designates where they show up on the website. So because she's in the principal investigator area, that's where she shows up here. If we needed her to show up in multiple areas and we also wanted to add her to, let's say, the board members or the admin team, we could just add that right there and you can see now she's going to show up in both areas. Or if she isn't a clinician anymore or an investigator anymore, a researcher, and we want to remove her and she's only on the board, then we would just uncheck principal investigator and leave her on board only. Then if we go a little bit down here under, let's close this area up, we have a few more fields here for her name and creds, her position, her specialty, department center, education. So that controls a number of items. So the first field there, name and creds, that's what shows up here underneath her picture. And then we've got down here, specialty, obstetrics and gynecology. That is what shows up here underneath her name on the front. Then we have position. That's going to show up right here. She didn't have a position, so I wanted to fill it in so we could see where that shows up. Department Center, Scientific Resource Center. There it is. Education. That shows up right at the top of her bio. And then let's see what the research and education focus does. Update. Refresh. Right here. So it labels it just like the education field, and it adds it here in above the bio. So that is how we add or edit existing posts here. Let's just go ahead and remove this and remove this and update that so that she is correct again. Make sure that's right. Yep. And, you know, on the off chance that you need to delete somebody, all you have to do is come in here and just hit trash, and they're just going to immediately disappear. You can see here on the front end as well that some of these folks, if they don't have a picture, this is the default image that shows up for them. If they don't have any information, if there's nothing in that field, if it's blank, then the system knows to just not offer up this about button. There's just no button. It's just the picture and whatever the text is underneath there. I think that is going to do it for the staff member, board member, PIs section. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks so much.